Bring your model to life with MCV Products. Visit them on the World Wide Web at mcvproducts.net.
Postage stamp kit from AMT, which I know is a dog. You don't have to tell me it's a terrible kit. We know that. We knew that going in. I bought it just for the cool box several years ago. Let me lower us down so we can look at what we got going on with it. Probably up a little bit more. That's too much. All right. So it took about 4 hours or so to get the nose mounted to the front of the car, mainly because the instructions are crap. In order to do this, you need to cut the lower section of this fender off and you put the new piece in, but the directions don't tell you that. They just show that piece there, that show the piece and that arrow, the line going to that spot. So the way the instructions look, you're just supposed to glue that over the top of the existing fender. But if you do that, it doesn't line up anywhere close. It sticks way out wider than the nose. So we cut the fender off from the bottom of the original notch for the bumper on the because this is a stock Charger body. And we shoved that and sanded and got it fit the new pieces in, and then we fit the nose onto the front of the body, and we got it fitting real good. It's nice and flush. The black lines you're seeing is where I used some resin filler, clear resin, to fill in the spots in the holes. And yeah, I know there was a rubber gasket that went around here, but it's a black car, so black rubber gasket's not going to show up. So where you see that gray is where I put the clear resin in, and then when we sanded it back flush, so you picks up some of the gray dust from the sanding process, and it gets embedded into it. But we've got it nice and lined up, so we're real happy with that. I did put a couple of little tiny shims inside of the hood cavity so that the hood would not fall through. And I got the hood lining up real good on there. Happy with that. The kit does not come with mirrors, but I had a set of those bullet style mirrors in my stash. I still got to go in and fix them. They got sink marks in the top of them. I think those came from a Roadrunner. I don't remember 100% anymore. I've had them for a while. And then as far as the back wing, we got it built, sanded smooth. Again, the same thing where the parts didn't line up, I filled it with the UV resin and sanded it smooth so you can still, it's clear so you can still see where the seams are, but it's filled. Same thing with it had some big injector pin marks on the bottom of the wing. I sanded it as smooth as I could and then put a coat of UV resin over the whole thing and then sanded that smooth so once it's painted you won't see those injector pin marks anymore. Same thing, we got the fenders done. I did sand off the badge on the side. I'm going to go without them. I haven't done the one on the back, but I'm probably going to get to that. Or I may leave that one on there. But yeah, that's where we're at on that, on the body. Put the hood back in there. I shouldn't do this stuff on camera because I can never do it when I'm trying. Okay, so we got that. Got a whole bunch of parts up here in the alligator clip for us to get painted and primed for this car. And then also we have built the engine. I'm not going to wire it or anything on this one. I'm going to just leave it stock. The only thing I did change, the carburetors that came with this thing were horrible. It came with like 5 carburetors, and all 5 of them, they're all nasty. I had a couple of these from a 3D printed engine that I use something different on. They're not great either, but they are better than what was there, so we went with those. I was going to put the velocity stacks on top of those, but they don't really fit, so we're just probably going to leave them open, or I might look for one of the oval shaped. I think I might have one or two of those oval shaped breathers that were designed for the 6-pack that I can throw on there and call it done. But other than that, say we just did it fully out of the box. Basically, other than the decals, this whole thing's going to be an out of box build. Well, and tires. The wheels, yes. Tires, no. The kit does come with these deep Krieger wheels, but no tires for them. So we went to a good old 67 Chevelle. I think these came out of the 67 Chevelle. Or that I don't know. I don't remember which. And grabbed some slicks to put on it. And we grabbed got one for the front. I need to go. I'm going to take these up. They're just pressed fit right now. Still need to take them apart and paint paint what would be the brake drums in there, so they're not stark white showing back in there. But I've got those, and I got it where it sits pretty low. I think I got pictures of that I'll put at the end of the video. Yeah, so that's basically where we're at. And I was saying earlier, for mounting the nose, they just show you sticking those pieces on there, but it won't work if you do that. So for more of that notch is there, I put this up on the outside where it should have been, marked a line for where the top of that part was, came down just a hair, cut it, and then I sanded and filed it to it fit up flush to both sides, and then the nose lined up and fit pretty good. Except I had to do a little bit of pillars because it's kind of got a kind of concave there. So there's some areas where there was airspace, so we filled that with UV resin and got it cured and called it done. So that's what it looked like when it's done. Anyway, we'll try to do another update on this one before the finals, but you may not, because I'm basically down to, once I get the paint on and do the assembly, it'll be pretty quick. This is the AMT, the postage stamp kit, the one in the tin box, the 1969 Dodge Daytona kit. We did it a little bit differently than what they called for in the instructions and whatnot. I kind of wanted to go with this all blacked out version with just the Dodge on the rear quarter, so that's what we did. Threw on the STS get some license plate. We put big drag slicks underneath of it, and yeah. But other than that, it was pretty much out of box. We didn't do a whole lot of extra stuff to it. And the wheels actually came in the kit, but the tires for the big back end, the rear tires did not, but the wheels were actually in the kit. So we had those there. I just stole a set of wheels out of one of the 67 Chevelles, or a set of tires anyway, out of one of the 67 Chevelles to get under there. I did both the rears and the fronts, the rubber. So yeah, that's this is the Tropical Glitz Abyss Black, which I did buy at Acme, and so that's kind of the reason why going on this one was I wanted to try that color, that paint out. And it worked out really well. I'm real happy with the way it worked out. But I hate black because it's such a pain in the ass to try and keep clean. Right before I started, I polished this thing, and I can already see spots where I missed, and it's got fingerprints on it and stuff. So when it's done here, I'm gonna put my white gloves back on and put it in the case, and we're never gonna come out of there. The little display case again, unless I'm wearing gloves and stuff. But anyway, we'll tip her up here on the side to make it kind of a pro street. We moved the leaf springs in to where they sit on top of the frame instead of on brackets on the side, and so we used those Chevelle tires there. Other than that, it's straight out of the box. We used the kit engine, the kit headers, kit exhaust, everything is all out of the kit. As far as this hood is real bitch to get off, but let's see if we can do it quick. If not, I'll turn the camera off and get it and come back. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, we got the hood off. So I got to where it fits up really nice and tight. So it's a little bit of a pain to get off because it fits in so well, and you can't really get anything in there around it to put. You have to push it out from the stick something in the bottom to push it out. As far as the engine goes, it did not come with the radiator hoses, so I made those out of solder. And then the carburetors in the kit were junk. They were just terrible. These aren't a whole lot better, but these are. They came in one of the 3D engines I got somewhere down the road back in history, and I just threw them on there because they were, even as bad as they are, they were 3 times better than what was on. It came in the kit. Also, I forgot we did add mirrors to this one. I had some left the last pair I had in my stash of those wedge type sport mirrors. So we threw those on here just to set it off, because it's supposed to have mirrors. Come on, guys. I don't think we can. I got some pictures of the interior that I'll throw at the end. It's going to be almost impossible. It's black interior. I put one of the MCV Products pistol grip shifter on it. So that's it. I mean, I'll put the pictures in there because you can't see jack shit in there. Yeah, so it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. It did take about 5 hours to get the nose to fit because the directions are horrible. They don't tell you that you're supposed to cut part of the fenders off of the original body to then put the insert pieces in. Once I figured that out, things kind of went pretty well, and then whatever gaps I had left, I put a little UV resin in and cured that, so that once we sanded it and painted it, you won't see those anymore. But yeah, it's not a bad kit if you want to put the time in on it, getting that nose to fit. And I would recommend, if I were to do another one, I would definitely swap out the engine for a 3D printed version, either of the 446 pack or the Hemi. Something, the kit engine is okay, but it's nothing to write home about. But my little battery light is flashing on here, so I'm going to say, if you want one of my shop cards, hit me up an email and I'll send you one out. And with that, I'm going to say good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world when you watch this video. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.